I am going to show you how to Photoshop your plans. So you can see here, this is an old one that I did back in the day. And I took a picture of it. So hopefully you have a higher quality scan, but we're just going to go with this. So first I am going to rotate this. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and crop it so that it is the correct size here. And once I have that done, I will take a look at it. So you can see I have some shadows here. I have a coffee spill down here, and the paper is just kind of wrinkled. And you can see the seam. I didn't have a piece of 11 by 17 to put underneath my vellum when I took a picture, so you can see the seam from the 2 sheets of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and start out by straightening my file. So I'm just going to use this straighten function and click. I'm sorry, you have to hold down. Click and drag and then click again. Now you can see my paper is just a little bit warped, but again, hopefully if you guys are using the scanners, you will have a better paper. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and white balance, which I've showed you guys how to do this, but again, I use image adjustments levels and then click on the white dropper to set the white point. And I'm going to click on a pretty dark part of my drawing. So that did okay. That's better. That's pretty good. I will take care of those shadows later. I feel like if I white balance it anymore, I'm going to lose that line completely. So we're going to go with that. So next I'm going to try to get rid of some of these wrinkles and things, and we'll just kind of see how this works. Again, hopefully yours are a little bit better quality. I also noticed you can see some like mistakes in this area that I need to take care of. So I am going to, first I'm going to unlock the background, and I'm going to go ahead and add another layer by clicking the little plus sign down here in the bottom right. I just clicked that and it adds another layer. And actually, I should show you how to unlock the background again. So you can see over here in the layers panel, if you don't have the layers panel, you're going to make sure that it is selected by clicking on window and then layers. And you're just going to click the little lock key to unlock the background. And then I will add a layer and drag it to the bottom. So I'm just going to drag and drop it so it's underneath my top layer. And I'm going to go ahead and just fill that with white. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so now when I go to, I'm going to click back to my main layer. You need to make sure you're working on the layer that you want to work on. I'm going to make sure I have my block eraser. So there are different shapes of erasers. Sometimes they come in round as a brush, but if you want to change it to block up here under mode. So you can see I can just, if I click, I can just erase that. And since my background is white, it just kind of blends in. So I can go and erase all my little mistakes. You can try, so one thing you can try to do is select the white areas, and I'm going to uncheck contiguous here because I want it to select everything. I don't know how well this will work. Yeah, it's going to delete some of that line, I think. I can lower my tolerance. The tolerance is like how precise you want it to be, but then you can see it misses a lot. So I think my scan or my picture that I took is too low of quality. So I just am going to, the best thing that I should probably do is just spend time erasing. Again, your scans, if you're using the grayscale and the high quality scan, you should really only have to come in and delete a few little mistakes here and there. Like I can go in and delete these, but you can see now, it looks funny because my white point is off down there. So we can try to adjust the white point. Oops. And see what that looks like. I don't know why it's not changing. There we go. Oh, that brightened it up a little bit, but again, it blew these out, so I don't think I'm going to do that. So yeah, basically, if this were me, I would either spend time deleting all of this dark background, and then if you have the white underneath it, you know, it looks really nice. You can use the magic wand tool and select, and then if you hit delete, it will delete that, but then you're left with a lot of like weird fuzziness. You're really just going to want to start with a better quality scan than what I had. That's my advice. But so I just wanted to show you some tools that you can use. Another trick with the eraser is if you release your mouse, hold down the shift key. Make sure you're being precise. Hold down the shift key, and then you can just bring your mouse up and click again. It will create a straight line from that point. So that's like a way to erase big blocks of stuff at a time, is just to keep you just hold down the shift key and keep going back and forth, and it'll erase it. So I can erase all of this. I can make that look really nice. And with the block, when you zoom in, you can see it doesn't change sizes. So if you're zoomed out farther, it's going to erase a larger chunk, and if you zoom in, it's going to erase a smaller chunk. So the block eraser never changes sizes. If you're using the brush, you can change the size of the brush. So I can go 5,000 pixels, and you can see it gets really big. And then if you change the hardness, see how I have 0% hardness, which means the edges are soft. So it's not going to be a precise circle. If I change it to 100% hardness, it will be. So I can just erase a single circle. You can't really see it, but it's erasing a circle. I personally, for this, think the block is a little bit more handy because I can erase, I can use this square shape to my advantage. So let's say you do have this kind of issue here where it blew out my white point a little bit. You can go in and draw another line. Now you don't want to do this too much because it's going to look kind of funny, but I can take and I can start here, click, drag. Oops, I got to make sure my color is black. So I can click, I let go, I can put my mouse where I want it to go, hold down the shift key and click again, and it draws a nice straight line. Now again, you can see that is probably a little too thick and maybe a little too dark, and my text is kind of messed up, so this is going to take a lot of work. So again, I encourage you to start with a good scan, or you're going to be spending a lot of time fixing things, which is not a good use of your time. But if you have little mistakes, wrinkles, coffee spills, tears, you can go in and erase that stuff. I can go and erase these weird shadows. I could redraw my title block lines there just to make them look a little nicer, because that's a little wonky. But again, my paper was wrinkled and I didn't have it even. So use the eraser tool to your advantage. But I mean, I would spend at least an hour photoshopping this, I'm guessing. So not really a good use of time. So come in with a nice scan, erase the few little mistakes that you have, and then you can do that for every single drawing that you have. And I will see you guys in just a little bit.